Hello once again, everybody. This is Rich with High Percent Trading. Today's video is going to show how to trade the Wave 4 setups on the combined Gann Elliot indicator setups the preferred way. Now, this is actually video number 3 in the series. And the prior two videos, the first one was showing how to trade the Wave 5 setups with the cyan band. This is a Wave 5 down here with the cyan band. One of the previous ones also showed how to trade the Wave 2. This is a Wave 2 setup here. But what we're going to be concentrating on today is going to be the Wave 4 setup, which is right here. Now, when you go through this, you'll notice that a Wave 2 generally provides a pretty good run when you get a nice harmonic move. Okay, Wave 4s, just by their very nature, are coming in a little bit later. So therefore, you don't tend to get as long of a run. One of the anomalies on it is, though, they tend to produce very high percentages of profitable trades. And as we'll show in this video, you're going to see that that should reign true. I'm going to show the preferred way to trade these as far as the setups are concerned and good stop management. So again, you can see this is the Wave 2 setup initially, and this caught a nice harmonic move all the way down to at least the Wave 5 where you can cover your shorts. Obviously, it's preferred if you can get the Wave 2 setups because you generally will get a much bigger move. But the way this software is working is this is actually analyzing the Gann Elliot wave combinations, and it's also using the other indicator at the top, which I showed here, which is the Oracle Seer. And in order to use that, you can see that's the filter, that's the Seer filter, that's on. So what that does is the bar color has to be correct as well. So in other words, to get a short, in addition to the proper Gann-Elliot combination, the bars have to be magenta in color. In order to get a long, the bars have to be blue in color. So on the initial trade, you can see that the Wave 2 setup progressed down to a Wave 3. Then we retraced, and then this is the Wave 4 setup that the software is picking up. And eventually we came down very close to the target, down here on the Wave 5 target, where the trader usually is instructed to at least cover, and on an aggressive trade, as I'll show perhaps later, they can actually go long. Also, as it's taught, once you have the initial entry here, your stop is going to be right above the swing. So it's a very small stop, and I'll show how to manage that. Here's a good example of the Wave 2 entry long now, and that's the Wave 4 entry. You could see that the Wave 4 entry here, although it made a profit, we could not quite get to our Wave 5 target, and this market actually ran out of gas, but still a good trade overall. A lot of traders, when they'll trade this setup, a good way to do this is initially you can take a 2-unit position on the Wave 2 down here, and then add one additional entry off the Wave 4. That's a good combination. Now, here's another example of a short trade that actually went on to complete a Wave a 9, actually. But you can see the first setup was the Wave 2 setup there, and then as we progress, that's the Wave 4 setup here. The Wave 2 came down to the 3 target, retraced back to 4, and then continued on down to actually complete the total of a Wave 9. So sometimes when you get in on the Wave 4s, you can get a very nice run to the downside that produces a very nice profit. But generally speaking, that only occurs about 1/3 of the time. Here's the example going the other way. We had the Wave 2 long, and then the wave 4 long, and then up to complete the wave 5 off the Gann Elliot combination. So obviously if you can get in on the wave 2, you're going to get in earlier, but as we're going to see, you've got a very high percentage here of winning trades using the 4. Continue on a little bit later in the session, and this is what really makes it here. If you can catch this wave 4 entry, it just went on to complete a giant move to the upside. And also the way it's taught is once that wave 5 right there completed, once we go above the cyan band again with blue bars, that's an additional long that just continued for a very large gain. So sometimes you can get a favorable move on the 4 and get a very, very large gain. But as I indicated, that only occurs about 1/3 of the time that you get the wave 4 setups. Now moving on through the session, we don't have any more wave 4s. We had a couple of wave 2s in here. We're moving into the mid-morning. And again, it's just scanning to find the next potential wave 4 setup. Everything here is a 2. So we have nothing here. And that's the other thing, is when you're trading a wave 4, the market is a little more harmonic for you, meaning you've already completed at least 3 waves and therefore have a good probability of success. Now here's a good example of the wave 2 entry not triggering because the harmonics were not correct, but the wave 4 did, and that caused a fairly nice gain. All right, this again was the example of a wave 2, but here there was no wave 4. So that's why really the preferred method of trading this is to try to trade both the wave 2 and the 4 if you can. That way you're not going to be left out in the cold or standing there watching the market take off. If you trade the 2, and like I said, the best is to trade multiples of 2, do a scalp on one, do a runner on the other, and then you could use your wave 4 for an actual add-on if you wish. Now here's a good example of a wave 4 trade that not only worked out very nicely, but you'll notice that the wave 2 did not trigger. And the reason the wave 2 didn't trigger, of course, is it's using this SEER indicator, and the bars would have had to have been blue down here, and of course they weren't. So this is a rare occasion where you did not get the wave 2, but trading the wave 4 caught a very nice trade. Now, had this market actually retraced back to this level, then we would not have had the 4 as well. I'm going to talk about stop management here as well. Generally, the stop management is you want to go right up underneath the swing that was previously created. In this case, the long entry here, your swing is right up underneath the 4. I'm going to show a technique and a method actually to do a re-entry in the case that the stop gets hit. But I think you can see so far in the example that I've given here, I think we've had 4 or 5 wave 4 trades, and all of them so far, if my memory serves me correct, have all worked out well here. Here's another good example of what I was talking about. This was a wave 2 entry here, came up and almost took out the prior swing that we had here, but it was very close on the wave 4. So the wave 4 did catch that. And then it did continue on down to complete, actually in this case, a wave 7 down here. And again, the stop, like I indicated, your stop is right above the swing that was just made prior to that. Have not had an occasion to show the re-entry yet. We should get to see that on another chart because that's important to your trading as well, is the ability to re-enter that trade if for some reason it does get stopped out. Again, you can see over here on this indication there was no wave 2 setup, but trading the wave 4 you did get the first arrow, and that's the other aspect, is you only want to take the first arrow when it occurs, and that's the trade setup. As we continue on down again, another good example of a wave 2 that did not trigger because of the improper bar color, but the wave 4 again saved the day with the nice trade, and this one actually went up to complete a complete wave 11 Gann Elliot setup. So again, this reinforces the preferred way to trade, and that's to try to trade in multiples of 2 on the wave 2 if you trade that, and then do 1 as an add-on. Now, if the wave 2 doesn't get triggered like we showed here, then go ahead and take the 2-lot minimum on the wave 4. It's a good way to trade it. Now here's a good example of the wave 4 entry that didn't work. The stop was right above the swing, and the re-entry on this is you want to really create a horizontal line. You can either do that in your mind's eye, or you can go ahead and put a drawing tool up there on the chart. I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to put a horizontal line. That line is where your stop is. If the stop gets taken out, what we're looking for is for the market to trade back below that line with magenta bars, because this is a short, unless we get another arrow trade setup. Another arrow trade setup, it doesn't matter if it's going to be a wave 2 or a wave 4 or a wave 5 with a cyan band, it's going to negate a reentry. So this is not a, this would have been an example if we came back through the line, but we didn't, and therefore no trade reentry. Again, another example of both the wave 2 and the later wave 4 entry completing a 5. And then here's a good example of sometimes you get in late on the party on the 4, and you're going to get a small profit, but not a very large profit. And like I said, about 1/3 of the time you're going to get a nice big long move off that 4. But I think on the examples I've shown here so far, trading this, every one of the wave 4 trade setups have worked with the exception of 1. Now here, this isn't actually happening in real time right now. You'll be able to see the bars move. That was the wave 4 entry setup, and of course the stop now is going to be right above the swing. If this was an add-on trade, you can either try to go to break even now or scalp some out. If this was a new trade, then it's always a good idea to take a scalp and manage the runner. And maybe we'll get a situation here where I can show where the trade is going to come back out, basically take the stop out, and then set it up for a possible re-entry. What I want to show here is if you're interested at all in becoming a member here with us or getting a free trial on our software, here's our website, high%trading.com. Here's the contact page that you can contact us at. You're able to leave us a message, whatever information you'd like. If you contact us, we'd be more than happy to give you more information on this. But I think you can see that the trade setups are extremely good on this. And here it is in real time now. I wanted to show this. So this is a situation where initially we got the initial trade, but now with the stop it got taken out. As I indicated, you're going to take a horizontal line here, either in your mind's eye or, as I'm doing here, with a line. And if we trade back below this with the bars magenta color, that's going to be a re-entry on the short side. All right, unless and until we get another arrow from any of the other 2 trade setups that we've previously covered. Right now the market's moving higher, so there's no potential re-entry setup here. What we'd be watching for is the bar color turning blue. I'm turning from blue back to magenta. And I think you can see that trading this methodology provides for very small stops, generally 4 to 5 ticks, but with a very large reward to risk. Sometimes that reward to risk can be 3, 4, 5 to 1, sometimes even greater, 10 or 15 to 1 if you catch one of these longer moves to complete at least a wave 5. So we can give this a little bit more time and see what's going to happen, but right now we're moving higher on this, so there would be no re-entry on the short side here. Again, while we're waiting, if you look at the top here, you'll see that the website is High% Trading, and so thanks for joining us. I hope that this video was informative. And again, as I indicated, if you're at all interested in either getting a free trial or having the ability to come into our rooms, we have live market analysis 5 days a week where we cover numerous markets. We also have workshops. Just drop us a line here at hypercenttrading.com. You can go to the contact page. We'll be more than happy to invite you in and get your free trial on the complete workings of the software. So thanks again for watching. I hope it's informative. If you've had not the opportunity yet to view the other 2 videos in the series, please do so. The first one, as I indicated, was the ability to trade the wave 5 with the cyan bands. This is the wave 5 setup here with the cyan bands. So this would be a long entry here and then a long entry again. The second video in the series was the preferred way of trading the wave 2 setup. So once you put all those 3 together, you've got a great trading program that will cover most situations. And as I've indicated to traders, if you follow the rules on these setups, you will come out profitably pretty much every session that you trade. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to have that every single trade that you make is a winner, because that's not the case. There's nothing like that. But the percentage of profitability of the session, trading the rules, trading the wave 5s, the wave 2s, and the 4s, pretty much will guarantee you a winning, profitable session every time you trade. So again, thanks for watching. I hope it's beneficial. If you're not a member, and we hope to see you in the immediate future. So thanks again, everybody, and have a great day.